In a world where students are more likely to fear pop quizzes than police raids, Columbia University seems to be breaking the mold. Picture this. One of New York's most prestigious universities, home to earnest scholars and Nobel laureates, becomes the backdrop for, unusual spectacle. A full-blown police raid. Yes, you heard that right. The NYPD, complete with riot gear and distraction devices, descended on Columbia University with a mission. Now, what could have possibly prompted such an intervention, you ask? Well, it turns out the hallowed halls of academia had been temporarily transformed into a hotbed of political activism. A group of proactive students, sporting an abundance of passion and a dash of rebellious spirit, had occupied Hamilton Hall. Their mission? To voice their pro-Palestinian sentiments loud and clear. Their demands were simple yet profound. Divestment from companies profiting from Israeli actions in Gaza. Financial transparency and amnesty. A far cry from the usual college demands of better food in the cafeteria or more sleep during finals week, wouldn't you say? And you thought your college experience was dramatic. Now, let's dive into the protesters' demands, which, spoiler alert, don't include free pizza on campus. Instead, they were chanting Free Palestine, which is slightly more complex than extra pepperoni on a margarita. They were calling for the university to divest from companies profiting from Israeli actions in Gaza. Now, that's a mouthful. Imagine trying to fit that on a protest sign. The university, however, stood its ground like a stubborn mule, refusing to divest from Israel. This refusal stirred the pot of tension, making the campus hotter than a jalapeno in a heat wave. As the situation escalated, classes were moved online. Now that's one way to avoid morning traffic. So while students were forming human chains and barricading buildings on one hand, they were probably also battling with slow internet connections and Zoom fatigue on the other. Talk about multitasking. Well, on the bright side, at least they got to attend classes in their pajamas. If you thought things would simmer down after the raid, then you've never been to a college protest. In the aftermath of the police intervention, the campus resembled a scene from a high-stakes drama. Picture this: dozens of protesters were marched off into the sunset. Or rather, the back of a NYPD van, chanting Free Palestine with as much gusto as a rowdy crowd at a rock concert. The university, not to be outdone, decided to hand out disciplinary actions like they were handing out flyers for a freshman mixer. But here's where it gets interesting. The protesters, displaying the resilience of a caffeine-fueled student during finals week, regrouped. Their rallying cry? Amnesty for disciplined students. It's a bit like asking the teacher for extra credit after failing the exam, but hey, it's worth a shot. The situation is ongoing and we're expecting more updates. Perhaps the university will offer a new course. Protest 101: How to Occupy Buildings and Influence People. So that's the latest from Columbia University, where students are redefining the meaning of study break, one protest at a time.